What we do here on Skiba News Nation, please like and subscribe, and also share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons out there. If you like bonus content, you want some extra Skiba News Nation stuff, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation.
Welcome to Skiba News Nation, bringing you unfiltered views, news, interviews, discussions, and more. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Skiba, award-winning musician and son of Rob Skiba.
With the son of the legendary Rob Skiba, Jeremiah Skiba, what's up?
With my great and insightful co-host, Mr. Jake Graham. It's like I don't even want to wake up.
He's on a quest for truth.
Hey fellow truth seekers, something huge is coming. We're building the world's largest truther convention. It's called TrutherCon.
This is the place where truthers unite to explore knowledge, ask tough questions, and to challenge the mainstream narrative.
But it isn't just a convention, it's a movement for free thought, open discussion, and the right to question everything.
We are bringing in some of the biggest names of the truther community, so expect deep discussions, mind-blowing revelations, and connections with like-minded truth seekers.
If you feel like the truth is being hidden from you, this is where you need to be.
And the best part, it's 100% grassroots, built by truthers for truthers, straight from our Skiba News Nation family.
You can help us right now by liking and following our pages and share it with your favorite truther and help spread the word.
We're working to keep costs low, let children in free, and even offer passes to content creators who would like to meet their audience. TrutherCon will be a massive networking event where knowledge and community can come together.
Our website is now available so you can learn how to be a speaker, vendor, etc.
I believe this is going to be the most exciting truther event ever. We would love for you guys to join us.
Follow us for more updates to get ready for TrutherCon, where truth has no limits. October 2025 in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there. Hey Skiba News Nation family, welcome to episode 114 of Skiba News Nation, your weekly source of the latest news, controversial topics, conspiracies, forgotten history, and so much more. I'm your host, Jeremiah Skiba, and today we're going to be talking about Joe Biden chicken Holocaust because of the bird flu. Walt Disney knew the earth was flat and warned us about chemtrails. Alex Jones staffer murdered in cold blood. R.I.P. Trevor Moore. Scientists trying to make us immortal, an all-new Opus Corner, and this week we have a very special segment, and we'll be showing you our trip to Panama City Beach, Florida, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and we filmed the world's largest sunset. Now, as always, I'd like to introduce my great and insightful co-host and creator of that awesome video, Jake Grant. Welcome, Jake. Are you excited about going to TrutherCon?
I am. TrutherCon is something I've been looking forward to for many years now. Now, there's been a slew of conferences I've been to since I've been into this whole kind of alternative media conspiracy YouTuber, realm of work. A lot of the conferences have fizzled out. So there's a huge need for something just like this, and I'm so excited to get together and see what happens, man. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, and if you guys want to follow and subscribe to all the, social media, the website is now available, truthercon.com, and you can also apply to be like a vendor, like Jake said in the video, and all that good stuff. If you have a suggestion, just tag that creator and at TruthorCon and let us know who you want to be there. So, with that being said, do you have some great current news for me today, Jake?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff to get into. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. So recently I looked up into the night sky and I believe I saw a UFO. It was a steady, bright light, brighter than a star, going across the night sky. And at first I was asking my buddy Patrick, hey, is that an airplane? And he looked up and he's like, well, there's no blinking lights. It's just kind of moving almost too fast to be an airplane. And so we stand up from the campfire, we look up into the heavens and stare at this bright light, and all of a sudden it starts fading, and then it turns into a red light and then vanishes. So, look, I don't know if I saw a UFO or what, but I definitely saw something. And then I came across this post recently. This happened earlier this month, and it's somebody who took a picture apparently of a star being visible through the moon. And I've seen several of these. It's been hard for me to validate who took the picture. Of course, it was posted to the Reddit Stargazing, but the caption is, Pumbaa, hey Timon, ever wonder what those sparkly dots are up there? Timon, Pumbaa, I don't wonder, I know. Right, so Timon, described them as these like fireflies caught up into the heavens. But it's just so fascinating when you actually see it with your own eyes, something up there that's unexplained. I don't think I saw an airplane last night, but I do think I saw something, and man, it's peculiar. But there's a lot of strange things we see in the world, and there's even conspiracies that people might call you crazy for believing. Some people might believe you are a crazy conspiracy theorist for believing that werewolves are a thing, until you see articles like this, where a teen with werewolf syndrome sets the Guinness World Record for hairiest face. I mean, this guy is a literal werewolf in a way. And so reality is sometimes stranger than fiction. And you see some of the truth that's being exposed through what Elon Musk is doing with the DOGE branch of the government that's unlocking a lot of secrets that many conspiracy theorists have been postulating about for many, many years. And it looks like whoever they're poking is a little upset about it. So this is a post about the attacks recently that have been going on towards X. First, protests against Doge. Then Tesla stores were attacked. Now X experienced some downtime. I wouldn't rule out the possibility that this is downtime is a result of an attack on X. So this happened March 10th. Now, as of recording this is March 12th. It has been confirmed that there was cyber attacks going against X. It's so fascinating that all of these things seem to line up coincidentally, trying to bring down Elon Musk, who is being painted as this crazy dictator villain who's exposing some of the misuse of funds that U.S. aid and such have been kind of funneling money to over the years. And so let's watch Elon confirm it himself that it even looks like it's coming from Ukraine, these attacks. Check this out.
There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. Yes. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
The cyber attacks that are coinciding with attacks on Tesla stores and it's insane. And so you got to ask the question, what have we been funding over in Ukraine? Because if the attacks are originating there, it's almost as if he's exposing the money trail, showing the misappropriation of funds and how it was used in a corrupt way, especially in Ukraine. And then from Ukraine, you have a direct attack on Elon Musk's system. Very interesting. Now, there's a lot of people. Recently, we had the fantastic interview with Witsit and Zen regarding biblical cosmology, and we talked about the issue of them scrubbing information. And so I found this post recently intriguing. It's a Minecraft world that is designed to be a library for truth and exposing the lies, and allowing people to get their hands on banned documents and texts. Like if you're in China and the Bible's banned, somebody could upload a Bible to this Minecraft server, and you'd be able to read it. Check this out. The Uncensored Library is a large Minecraft map that allows people to access censored news from countries with restricted press freedom. Very interesting. The project uses Minecraft as a platform to bypass censorship, allowing players to read articles and reports that might be banned in their home countries. I don't know about you, Jeremiah, but I'm kind of motivated. I want to get on this Minecraft server and start leaving truth bombs for people. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we could totally do that. Put little Skiba News Nation Easter eggs in there.
Oh, yeah. All right, so now let's go through a series of banned controversial news topics that just might end up on this Minecraft server. Let's start with this one here. Publicly available documents reveal U.S. Congress has been quietly approving funding for weather modification and geoengineering projects, the same projects the media calls everyone conspiracy theorists are talking about. We know this because now we can see how and where our tax money is being paid and spent via the website usspending.gov. A website Elon Musk, by the way, has put up so that we can see what Doge is uncovering with their whole, unwinding the budget of the U.S. thing. But not only that, look at some more manufactured food shortages that we've seen for the past 3 or 4 years. Very interesting. Big government ordered the slaughter of 100 million chickens because of a few dozen cases of biolab bird flu. Wow. So guys, during the Biden administration, millions and millions of chickens were slaughtered just because of, a few positive tests of the old bird flu. Manufactured shortages, anyone? I think so. It looks like we're also seeing this happen in Canada. Check this out.
Milk about 260 cows. Right now during the winter months, you milk quite a bit more milk because the feed is very consistent. And if you do a good job, you will produce quite a bit of milk. So, but right now we're over our quota. It's regulated by the government and by the DFO. But the problem is what they don't understand is millions of people look at this milk running away because it's the end of the month. So I dump 30,000 liters of milk, and it breaks my heart. I will show you. By the way, this here Canadian milk is $7 a liter. When I go for my haircut, people say, "Wow, $7, Jerry, for a little bit of milk." I say, well, you have to go higher up. Because we have no say anymore as a dairy farmer on our own farm because they make us dump it. And no matter how we stand up, so this time I'm going public. I want the people to see the pain that us growers have of 365 days. As a little boy, we grew up on a dairy farm, came from Europe, work, and here we are. This is what's happening. Oh, by the way, only over when your times are good, how can you, so for us when it's good, our little bit of profit, it goes down the drain. How you guys dare to put this product on the market for $7 a liter and think that that's okay when there's a lot of mothers, single mothers with no extra, like, they have maybe a few kids to feed or whatever, or the sick kids hospital it could go to. It could go anywhere, to the food banks. But I hope you're proud, and I think you're going to be surprised, because yes, my name is Jerry Hugan. And I'm very proud that we send a really good product. And that you just kind of tell us, well, throw it down the drain. Nobody sees it. It's okay. But it's not okay.
Oh, guys. Another story that would likely make it into the Uncensored library just because they don't want people knowing that they're purposely wasting food and ending our ability of surplus so that prices can be driven up, so that, you know, political games and gimmicks can be played. It's shocking. Let's go ahead and check out another clip that's being ignored by the mainstream media. This is posted by our friend Joseph Riverwind. I've interviewed him multiple times. He has some beautiful native fluting going on in the background of this video. It's very graphic. I'm going to have to cut some of it just to keep this on YouTube. But it's very shocking what's going on right now in Syria with thousands of Christians being put to death, and it's not being talked about. This is the kind of stuff that's like, you know how many people were killed when Hamas invaded through Gaza and attacked Israel? Less than are being slaughtered right now. Check this out. They're making Christians crawl to their death. And this is NATO-backed ISIS and Al-Qaeda terrorists. This is happening right now. People are laying their lives down. Christians, a man wearing a cross on his neck, beheaded. Terrible, terrible truth that thousands. They're asking the state of Israel to intervene to protect the Alawites in Syria. Where are the marches? Where are the protests? Where is the UN? Why the deafening silence? Shocking, guys. Shocking that this is allowed to happen and is in fact being orchestrated by a NATO-backed government. Wow. Terrible, terrible truths. Something that would make it on to the Uncensored library.
Yep.
We're going to keep at it, y'all. Since we did have a Flat Earth interview recently with Witsit, Getsit, and Zen Garcia, and we're also going to have another one coming out with Founded Earth Brothers, I wanted to share this lady came out with a compilation of proofs, and then we're going to show how possibly, you know, it found its way into some Disney content and some other mainstream content talking about how the Earth could actually be flat. So let's look at some of these proofs this recent Instagram influencer put out.
Clear that we live on a flat, non-rotating Earth, and that we live in a realm, not space. And I'm gonna prove it to you. If you don't already use Haven, it's an awesome studying resource. It can pull up verses on specific topics. Everyone I've put onto this loves it. Isaiah 40:22. It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. And a lot of people are gonna say, oh, that's proof of the globe. No, it's not. The Hebrew word in this verse can be translated as circle or vault, indicating a rounded or arched shape. This suggests a reference to the dome or the expanse of the heavens. In Isaiah 22, he uses a totally different word for ball. He will surely wind you up tightly like a ball to be thrown into a wide land. Two different words used, and this is the only time that you see this word in the entire Bible. Proverbs 8:27, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. Job 26:10, he has inscribed a circle on the face of the waters at the boundary of light and darkness. Verses in Genesis alone that have the phrase, face of all the earth. What does that make you think of? A watch. The face of a watch. Job 22:14, thick clouds enwrap him so that he does not see, and he walks on the circle of the sky. Matthew 4:8, again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. Ezekiel 10:1, then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them, as it were, a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. Revelation 7:1, after this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth. Job 22:14, thick clouds enwrap him so that he does not see, and he walks on the circle of the sky. Remember, this is the same word that you can also translate to vault or arch. Here's just 3 verses that say, the world shall be stable, it shall not be moved. A lot of people love to say, oh, the Bible never said that the earth is flat, because it's not needed. When you read it and compare the verses, it's obvious. We 100% live in God's realm.
All right, so it's not only the Bible that says the earth is firm, immovable, fixed, with a solid firmament above it, and not a spinning monkey ball religion, which a lot of Christians don't realize that they have more in common with flat earthers or biblical cosmologists than they do the modern theories of evolution and the Big Bang. And yet it's such a large jump because there's so many propped up images and pictures from space organizations that were founded by occultists that have convinced you otherwise. But did you know that also Disney knew the earth was flat? That good old Walt possibly inserted into his medium some winks as to the true nature of reality. Check out this clip.
All these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round? Yes, that's right. And it also goes around. Now, first of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round? Yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
All right, so you guys tell me, do you believe he was saying it was one way or the other? It makes it sound like he was presenting to Arthur that it's crazy to think the earth is flat. But then, you know, just an interesting little tidbit there inserted into a Walt Disney movie. But it's not uncommon to see things like that inserted into films that wink at, you know, the realm we live in. So it wasn't only Walt Disney that nodded at certain flat earth concepts in his medium. You also had Breaking Bad kind of dropping a couple lines here and there. Check this out.
For your surgery, I asked if you had packed your cell phone, and you said, which one?
When? Skylar, I was medicated. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
I could have said the world was flat. You know what I think? I think you accidentally said the truth.
You can see the curvature of the earth.
Van, I told you it's impossible.
You can see the curvature of the earth.
Well, I'll shut up as long as I can come and hang out at your penthouse.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Penthouse?
Mrs. H, do not worry. It has nothing to do with the magazine.
You found a 20th floor penthouse for $700 a month?
No, we found a third-floor unit in the back of the building for $700 a month. Then we heard about the apartment of the gods.
It's a little more than $700 a month.
I'll bet. How much?
Keep in mind, you can see the curvature of the earth.
So if you guys are interested in this funny flat earth topic, go and check out our last interview with Witsit Gets It and Zen Garcia. I really think your eyes are going to be opened as to why we would be joking around about this at all, or even postulating that the spinning monkey ball religion we've all been taught from a young age could possibly be inaccurate. Walt Disney didn't only nod at concepts like flat earth, he also encoded things about chemtrails, something else that would likely need to be added to the Uncensored library. So this is a 1959 short Disney film on weather modification, and people think we never made it real for over 65 years, and people still call people who talk about chemtrails conspiracy theorists today. Well, check this out. This is a good old Walt Disney short film put out years ago.
Battle begins. On the ground, chemical cloud seeders begin to work the two storm areas. Robot planes seed the clouds from above. The storm centers over Kansas and over Labrador intensify as seeding continues.
Now changing over to Hurricane Center H8.
The fury of the hurricane mounts as 100-mile-an-hour winds lash the sea to a foaming frenzy.
All stations, Sector C. Activate Phase 2, Control Plan Delta. Set vapor rockets for 42,000 feet. Execute...
As an emergency measure, the controller calls for a salvo of vapor rockets to be fired ahead of the path the hurricane is predicted to take. These artificial clouds will block the sun from evaporating more water to feed the hurricane. The reports coming into the control center indicate that the diversionary cloud seeding over Kansas is now creating a flood danger. Specially equipped robot aircraft are dispatched immediately to release a high concentration of cloud seeding material into the fringes of the storm. Heavier seeding from the ground also helps to subdue the rain by spreading it over a wider area. The controller calls for another view of the hurricane, which has now moved closer to the coast. With a touch of a button.
Unfortunately, his concept footage reminds me of what happened recently in North Carolina with a hurricane last year. What do you guys think? Do you think he was telling us what they wanted to make, and now it's come to full fruition, or do you think that technology existed back then and he was trying to put out a concept video talking about it?
Well,
what are your thoughts on him?
I know it was happening before because I was working on a History's Mysteries before. We're gonna have a special segment instead this week, but next week I'm gonna be doing a whole thing on cloud seeding and the history of it, so stay tuned for that. But I think it's pretty crazy that he was able to predict that. Even the computer was kind of interesting 65 years ago.
With the press of a button, pretty crazy. And for those of you who don't believe chemtrails are still a thing, I mean, the Paris Climate Accords and what we see in Saudi Arabia and in China are obvious telltale proofs that weather modification is absolutely real. If it's not enough proof that you can step outside of your house and look up and see the crisscross lines all across the heavens. Okay, so for this next video, there's been a Alex Jones connected person who's been murdered in cold blood, and Alex Jones speaks about his staffer in this report. Check this out.
Alex
Alex, thank you so much for joining the program. I know that you're very busy this morning, and our prayers to you and to your staff. We're so sorry to hear about this tragedy. Can you tell us more? All we've heard about is that this individual was killed outside of their home, and that's it. Do we have any more information?
I have a lot more information for you. Jamie White was here 7-8 years, really good friend of mine. He was our best writer. They're all great, but they would recognize he was the most prolific. You couldn't keep him out of here. He worked really 7 days a week. And when he was on vacation, we really missed him. He was the only writer that is actually basically outside the control room. His desk is right through that control room that I'm looking at. I could look through the open door at his desk. And I talked to him every day. I sent him articles. We were constantly on the phone. Really good friend of mine. And I'm in shell shock right now. He was up here Sunday night for the Sunday show we did that I was doing with Chase Kaiser and the rest of the crew. I wasn't on air Sunday night. I was up there doing work. So I saw him one last time. And then he went home. And right before midnight, out by his car, he was either shot or stabbed. The police won't tell us. They said the call was a hot shot call, meaning serious wounding, stabbing, or shooting is what they call it. And we were really worried yesterday morning because he works early in the morning, and we were calling him. He wouldn't answer for hours. So one of the writers, who's really good friends with him, went over there, and there was yellow tape and everything. You'd seen in the news there had been a murder in the early morning hours. The police got there 2 minutes after a 911 call of someone seriously wounded. They got him to the hospital within 15, but as they rolled him in, he died. The hospital said right when he died on the table, right when they were starting to attend to him. And the crew member, just to give you an idea, said there was just blood everywhere. He could see over the yellow tape. The police came over, said, "We're not going to talk to you." They said, "No, we're his friend. He works with us." Showed the cop, obviously pictures with him and that person, because they hung out a lot. Jamie and his girlfriend, and then Don Salazar and his wife is also a reporter, but she doesn't work for us, but we work with her. So they were really big friends for years. Don's been here 14 years, and so people were crying up here in the morning, trying to not tell me what was going on. The police had asked them not to say anything until the family was told. Then they told me by 1 o'clock, he's dead. He's the guy that got killed, but we haven't gotten to all the family yet, so we can't talk about it. By 4 o'clock, the father and his sister were very close. They said, "No, the rest of the family knows. You can now tell people." And so I went on air at about 4 o'clock, and they said they have 2 suspects. That's all they'll tell us. They still aren't going to tell us gun or knife because they, obviously that's part of the investigation for people they talk to. They don't want other people to know, the details. They said that they'll be releasing more soon. I'm going to talk to them here as soon as I get off with you. They've got some more information. And obviously, everybody started seeing immediately that he was one of the few people. A U.S. Senator got put on the list. Jack Posobiec got put on it. Jamie White got put on it. We're going back over 2-3 years ago, putting U.S. aid and Soros in reports about all the illegal funding. And so you can go see his post on X about being on that enemies list. And the people running that enemies list, one of them is an American citizen, a trans person, if you remember, was saying, "Yeah, we're going to come after U.S. citizens. We'll get you where you live." We obviously have the U.S. citizen leftists going over there and then getting all this training and recruiting people with all the clear CIA connections, all the passports and money coming back and trying to kill Trump at Mar-a-Lago. So there's a lot coming out of there. It's really NATO attacking America through Ukraine and through that lawless black hole. People are saying it could be that, could be a crazy leftist followed him from the studio. He went to see his girlfriend reportedly, and they may not have got him there, and then they waited and got him when he got home. We don't know all the details of that. It could have just been a crazy crackhead. There's a lot of crime here. We have the worst, and he's recognized out of all the Soros DAs, over 800 of them, and county attorneys and others in the country, he is the worst, which is saying a lot. He lets people out of jail that shoot multiple people on 6th Street but didn't kill them, and that's the Bar District, and lets them out the next day. So this guy will not prosecute hardened criminals. He says if they're not white, he says it's all racist. He famously, when the Army sergeant off duty was doing a lift, Black Lives Matter blocks him, the anti member points the AK-47 at him,
Yes.
And then the sergeant shoots him. He had to be pardoned, totally clean shot. You see the guy aim the gun at him and tell him get out, and he defended himself, total legal shoot. The governor had to pardon him. We have the worst person, Jose Garza. So whether it's Ukraine in the Soros group, or whether it's a criminal, which I tend to think that's probably it because there's a lot of crime. But I mean, who knows? It's just Soros everywhere. This is literally, they admit that Garza was literally financed almost his entire campaign 5 years ago to be the new DA. And I mean, he's so horrible. He calls people in Zoom meetings. You pull these up, type in Austin DA, Jose Garza calls city officials comrades. I mean, this guy calls people comrades. He's an admitted Marxist-Leninist. And so he has aided and abetted this. He is an accessory to this. If it wasn't the Ukrainians or some leftist. So it could have been the Ukrainians, could have been a crazy leftist, staked outside the office, followed him, could have been a crackhead, could have been, gangster type. But regardless, every position we look at, it's all part of this crime wave and all part of the globalist system.
All right, so suffice it to say, it's looking like a member of the Alex Jones team with InfoWars was murdered in cold blood. Could it be because of his involvement with exposing some kind of, touchy Democrat, or could it be with their involvement with the Truther movement? And I mean, it's a dangerous thing to be in the information war, and it turns out it hit a little bit closer to home there with Alex Jones. And there's been a number of people over the years that have tried to speak truth and have been taken out. Here's somebody who would put out skits exposing the reality of certain industries, Trevor Moore, and pretty sad what happened, but you'll see why they had to take this other guy out as well. This guy died, for exposing the entertainment industry through entertainment, I guess. But I mean, and then you see things like this put out by mainstream figures that makes you go, wait, he was actually probably telling the truth. No wonder they killed him, right?
Yeah.
So check this clip out.
Eating.
No.
But also cooking.
And welcome to the 82nd Golden Globes, Ozempic's biggest night. How dare you call the substance. In those moments when we don't think we're smart enough or pretty enough or skinny enough or skinny enough. Ooh, you're gonna love this. You will. No baby oil this year, just lots of olive oil, okay? I predict 5 years from now, when you're watching old clips of the show on YouTube, you'll see someone in one of the crowd shots and you'll go, oh my God, that was before they caught that guy. Like, we could
try to do a Ricky Gervais.
Like, we don't even know with him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ricky definitely laid it all out there when he did his bit, and she said it in an interesting way. She's like, 5 years from now? What if we look back and we're sitting right next to somebody who, got arrested and exposed for all of their evil? We're making history right now. We don't even know it, And I mean, it's just like so on the nose at this point that it's almost like pointless trying to show it. And man, they brought up Ozempic, and so I wanted to share this next clip, which is the concept that behind the scenes, they've been pushing immortality and longevity for a very long time, and they've been inserting it in the films we watch. Watch this. So, that was a clip from a movie that was promoting this thing called telomerase. And, of course, behind the scenes, there's been so many things going on to increase the longevity of our superstars. And that, of course, dabbles into the whole topic of adrenochrome and using the blood of the youth, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, literally. Just like ancient Pharaoh, you read in the Targum accounts and in the book of Jasher that there was a ritual that ancient Pharaoh of Egypt would go and bathe in the blood of young people to stay young and to help his bodily ailments or whatever. Oh, man. Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's definitely not all just a joke. When that guy, talks about the rituals and he's, making fun of it, like this is how everybody gets in on the club. I mean, how far from the truth is it? You got to ask that question. But anyways, let's get into a couple more clips of news reports and theories that would make it into the Uncensored library. Check this video out. It's pretty crazy.
That is absolutely irrefutable, that says that the Cabal is not allowed to shoot the Red Cross workers. The planet itself is sick because of folks like the Cabal. Ultimately, the universe is intelligent, alive, and conscious, and it is benevolent. It is a benevolent consciousness. That consciousness does not allow the negative to succeed unless it is invited. So the Cabal has made a science, a very elaborate science, out of studying these arcane, occult, magical principles that allow them to get away with what they do. So they have to put out everything that tells you who they are in music videos, in these Super Bowl halftime shows, the Grammy Awards ceremonies. They're out there showing you the truth. Congress passed laws that said that if the U.S. declares bankruptcy, which it already is, that they will go into everyone's bank accounts and take their money to bail out the government, just like they did in Cyprus. You just indiscriminately release that information now. People say, what do you mean? Everything's fine. I got a car, I have food at the grocery store, I drive my kids to soccer practice, and we hang out on the weekend, we go to work during the week. Our lives are fine, everything's fine. What's your problem? Why do you have to be so negative? So what they need to do is wait for things to get obvious enough that people are activated.
So it's the element of they have to allow their plans to be played out in front of us all so that we can accept it and invite it into our life, into our reality. And that's why they tell us how they do it. That's why they reveal the cards. That's why they have all this programming and make us, think, oh, well, why are they telling us about this ritual or showing us this weird thing at the Grammys, It's because we have to accept it and allow it for it to be successful, because there's some kind of rule that they follow, or maybe it's something more to that. You have biblically that the scriptures say he does nothing until he reveals it first to his prophets. And so perhaps there's an element of following a natural law that maybe we're not all aware of, where acts on mankind and even atrocities have to be announced beforehand before they can successfully be carried out. And let's check out this next clip, which talks a little bit about Freemasonry. Pretty interesting.
You have the Jewish Star of David, because in fact Freemasonry is Jewish. Freemasonry has always known that its greatest enemy in Western civilization is Rome. And that's why there has always been this animosity between the Catholic Church and Judaism. There has always been this animosity between the Catholic Church and Judaism. The Jews were persecuted in the old country, in Europe, and there still remains that animosity between Judaism and the Catholic movement today. But not because of religion, but because of the secret societies that operate behind both of those organizations. The Pope's headdress, the papal headdress, goes back to an ancient Jewish headdress. And of course the Pope wears the yarmulke, and so does the cardinals wear the yarmulke. But in particular, the Pope's headdress is shown here as Freemasonic. This is from a Freemasonic research book a volume on Freemasonry and the garb of Freemasons. We see what's happening in South Africa. It is no great wonder that South Africa's greatest friend is Israel. On the Book of Teachings of Freemasonry, you have the Jewish Star of David.
All right, so very interesting. And the reason I like to show clips like that and explain why it is the Cabal is a Cabal, right? Like it's tied to Jewish mysticism, is because the most base explanation for who the most wicked people are on the world it goes back to an old rabbinic saying, which was detailing who the most wicked man in the Bible was. And they don't say that, oh, Pharaoh, who killed all the infants, was the most evil. No. They don't say Nimrod, who built the Tower of Babel, was the most evil. No. In fact, according to rabbinic tradition, the most wicked man in all of the scripture was Esau. Now, why would Esau be the most wicked man? Well, it's because of this. He grew up in a home of righteousness, being taught the oracles and the ways of the Most High, and yet he turned his heart away from the truth of righteousness and chose wickedness in the face of absolute truth. You know, his Torah is the truth, right? And so when you look at these secret society types and the people that are pulling the strings on the world, the reason they're so good at causing curses on mankind is because they're looking in the face of truth and they're choosing to disseminate transgression to the masses so that the goys curse themselves so that the Cabal can rise in power. And so this is in contradiction to what the nation of Israel was called to do and be, which was a light to the nations, a bastion of truth that could be a witness to the nations of what righteousness is, a light in the darkness of the world, and instead taking the truths of righteousness and inverting it and using that inverted truth to rise in power, dish out transgression, and to cause curses to fall on people. That's who actually is pulling the strings. People who have the knowledge of the truth and then they use it for wickedness, and that is great evil, right? And not only that, but the concept of people that present themselves as good, which are inwardly evil, are much more evil than somebody who's just ignorantly doing the hedonistic, I just do what I like because it feels good, right? That there's two different things there in terms of how, wickedness plays out on the world. I just want our listeners to understand how the Cabal actually is evil and how it works and how it would be tied to Judaism. And it's not because they want people obeying God, or something like that. It's because they've twisted it for their own gain. Here's another clip that would find its way onto the Uncensored library. Check it out.
That they want us to become entranced by the idea of this religion, to have it be cool, to have it be trendy. So one of the things they do is this symbol, which is 666. Each finger is one of the stems of the six. So you'll see people do stuff like this. You'll also see them put their finger over their eye like this. That's the all-seeing eye. Or they'll do this a lot. You'll have this kind of symbolism. So they're out there putting out these sigils and signs and codes and symbols, and they do it through things like pop music. So people start watching what's ever popular, and they're seeing flames, and they're seeing people dancing around in Baphomet horns, and they're seeing, again, is to acquaint us with their religion so that if they get their goal realized, which is to create a massive world economic collapse, greatly reduce population, and then come out as our liberators, giving us this technology, giving us what they consider to be freedom, we would actually be trading our sovereignty for a much greater level of tyranny. The reason why they're doing this is that they want us to become entranced by the idea of this religion, to have it be cool.
We are trading our sovereignty because we're self-cursing. Just to give an example of this, if you need more of an excuse other than the fact that God tells us not to eat pig in Leviticus, then check out this clip of them literally feeding pigs garbage, and that's what's being served up on your McGriddle at McDonald's. Check it out.
Cardboard boxes, pallets, everything's grounded into this right here.
They send this stuff off to be eaten by the hogs, and then the hogs are killed, and then we eat them. I felt like I had to tell the world.
Y'all believe me now.
Go up the line to that big shit called a grinder. And it grinds it out and turns it into that shit. And then the hog eats it. This is what it looked like when it's done.
I took the video because I was like, I've never seen nothing like this. This can't be like legal.
I told you guys.
Shout out to all my followers. I love you guys. But let's have a little class. As you see the AAFCO, this is the in America. So let's look down here. And what does it say? Plastics. Plastics, plastics, plastics. I told you. Okay, let's look a little more. What does it say? Plastic, cardboard boxes, pallets, everything's grounded into this right here.
So guys, it's all about self-cursing. That's how even the pharmaceutical companies make customers. They get us to ingest foods that cause, you know, the big C word, A-N-C-E-R, that cause us to become lifelong patients. Every single meal, they're dishing out the bacon, right? Everybody loves bacon. Well, guess what? If you are what you eat, then what it eats is what you are eating, right?
Yes.
Anyways, it's, you know, it's very telling how the game gets played. Is they look at the truth of the scriptures, of Yah's word, right? And then they invert it and dish it out to the masses so that we self-curse. We bring our own destruction on our own heads. And that's why we have to wake up to the truth, right? We have to wake up to, you know, what the Most High has been warning us. It's a lot. It's a lot, I know. And I know a lot of people love bacon. I know a lot of people out there don't get where I'm coming from and trying to share this with you, but it's out of love. It's like, hey, guys, there is, you know, death being dealt out on mankind en masse, and we need to be aware of it. Check this next clip out, which is along these lines of the involvement of the Jewish family, the Rothschilds.
Rejected the Rothschild banking cabal. He rejected the central bankers. That's what that was all about? Yeah, he wanted his own system of monetary exchange outside of the central banks. We can't have that shit. Right. Guess who else did that? JFK. I was going to ask you about that. Guess who else did that? Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah. Guess who's doing that now? Vladimir Putin. Gotta have regime change. Because we can't have this rejection of the central banks, because that's what's required for the ushering in of the one world governance, the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, whatever you want to call it. Right. The New World Order. The Hold the Pale Horse. You know, that is every single military intervention that we have been in has been funded by the Rothschilds. So, banking system. Yeah. So just think about that. The bankers tell us when to open our borders. The bankers tell us when transgenderism should be accepted. The bankers tell us when we're facing systemic racism and when to riot. We don't do anything with or without the permission of the bankers.
Okay, so, man, I don't like to leave off on a dark note. So, the last two videos we're about to watch, right before we... Whoa. Hello. I guess you can see my whole studio now and my unfilled shelves. I don't know why my camera's doing this right now. Alright guys, so as I explained, they love to dish transgression out to the masses so that we self-curse. Well, how do I want to end this episode off? Let's watch a few videos, just two. that'll inspire you to maybe get into your Bibles and start studying the scriptures to learn how to walk righteously, because therein is protection from the Most High. Check this out.
Boy, here's a rabbit hole for you. Here's a rabbit hole for all of us. In the early 1900s, right around when the Federal Reserve was founded and the Balfour Declaration happened, right at that exact same time, the Rothschild family hired this dude, this pastor in the Deep South. He made a new version of the Bible called the Schofield Bible. He wrote this new Bible that has all these new interpretations of the text. So they didn't change.
With Jewish influence.
Yes, literally. That's where Judeo-Christianity kind of came from. And the idea that Israel is this modern Israel thing is the Israel of the Bible. It came from that Bible. And the Schofield Bible was funded by the Rothschild family. And then it was pushed because they owned the publisher that publishes like all the books. I think it was Oxford Press. And so they had the deals that they could make to get that Bible into all the mega churches across whole denominations of Christianity. And so that was when Christianity got kind of Jewified.
So what does that mean? Well, if you look at the doctrines and theology that comes from people that use a Schofield Study Bible, you have a consistent pattern of something called dispensational theology. And that's where the church, the modern church, has so separated itself from the people of the book that, oh, that Old Testament law, that old definition of righteousness doesn't apply to us Gentiles. And the term Gentile believer became a synonymous term with the modern Christian church. But whenever you really study it, guys, you're going to find that his truth is everlasting truth and his righteousness is forever. Read Psalm 119 and then take another good hearty look at all the commandments in the scripture, because he has them for a reason. It's the way we love our neighbor, and it's the way we love him, and it's the way that he has loved us by giving us instructions to navigate the world. And so there's a depth to biblical literacy when you understand that theologies and deceptions have been penned by men that have misinterpreted the Bible. So what is there to be found if we interpret the Bible correctly? Check this video out, and we'll wrap up our news segment with a breakdown in the Hebrew of the name of the Messiah and the beautiful meaning behind it. And these truths are just waiting to be uncovered for people that fall in love with the truth again. So check this out.
I could break down the ancient Hebrew of the name of Jesus. The word is Joshua, Yehoshua. This is where the name Jesus comes from. It's Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Vav, Ayin. I wrote the modern Hebrew and then the Paleo Hebrew, and then I spelled the letter out, and now you can see I'm writing it in the ancient Hebrew. Yod is work, hand, activity, deed. Hey is reveal, show, behold, grace, mercy, what comes from, and spirit. Vav is join, nail, secure, establish, and man. Shin means consume, destroy, fire, transform. Vav, again, join, nail, secure, establish, man. And then Ayin, I, see, understand, insight, perceive, and obey. When we put these all together, we have the understanding that the name Jesus means the work and activity of grace and mercy that shows what comes from the Spirit, to secure and establish man by the nail, to consume by fire, transform and secure man's eye to understand and obey. Jesus died so we can understand and obey the Father. The scripture that comes to mind as the Holy Spirit, that came to mind as the Holy Spirit unveiled this to me today, is Matthew 6. Eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is diseased, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Jesus chose the cross. He chose the nail by his grace and mercy so that we could see and understand and perceive the Father and his goodness, so that we would obey unto blessing.
All right, so there we go, guys. It is so beautiful once you realize why they're trying to obscure the truth of the scriptures. All right, so as she put it, guys, he came to show us the way to walk in righteousness, because Deuteronomy 28, it details blessings and curses. And the Cabal wants us to self-curse through transgressing the righteousness of the Almighty, so that they can rise in power above us as we kind of, debase ourselves. And when our theology convinces us we can ignore the truths of the Almighty, it causes us to fall right into their trap. And so, it's so beautiful breaking down the language, and I hope you guys will be inspired to actually crack open your book and read it for yourself, and find, the truths that have been hidden therein this whole time, that'll help you see through the deceptions and the lies of this world, because we need a strong foundation for going through all the craziness that this world has to offer, especially today. So that's all the news for this week. Thank you, Jeremiah and Opa, and that'll be all for this week.
Thank you, Jake, for another great current news as always. Now a quick look at our Babylon Rising bookstore, so check this out.
Check out our new and improved BabylonRisingBooks.com, where you can get Rob Skiba's books, bundles, DVDs, DVD-ROMs, videos, and so much more. You can even get Sheila and Jeremiah's books, so check it out now.
It's about that time for an all-new Opa's Corner. Take it away, Opa.
Mein Hut, der hat 3 Ecken. 3 Ecken hat mein Hut. Und hat nicht 3 Ecken, dann ist es nicht mein Hut.
The strange, the bizarre, the unexpected. These are the kinds of subjects a man named Robert L. Ripley challenged us to believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, you.
Wally, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Believe it!
You're a loony.
Lyndon Baines Johnson proposed to Lady Bird on their first date, and after 90 love letters in 90 days, she finally said yes to both him and a $2.50 ring. Big spender. Believe it or not.
He killed Kennedy.
Chester Arthur held a White House yard sale, selling historic items like Lincoln's pants to fund a redecoration project. Believe it or not. James Garfield's spine, with a visible bullet hole from his 1881 assassination, was displayed at the National Museum of Health and Medicine in 2000. Believe it or not. You experience your billionth second of life when you are 31 years old. Look out, Jake. Believe it or not. Scientists have developed glowing wood using a bioluminescent fungus. There's a fungus among us. Believe it or not. Covering 1.2% of the Sahara Desert and solar panels could theoretically generate enough energy to power the entire world for a year. Believe it or not. The recipe for concrete was lost for 900 years. Believe it or not. An unwashed pillowcase can have 17,000 times more bacteria than a toilet. Believe it or not. When hula hoops hit the market in 1958, an estimated 25 million were sold in the first 4 months. Believe it or not. In Little Rock, Arkansas, it's illegal to honk a horn where drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m. Believe it or not. Saint Arnold of Schweizern, a Catholic saint of beer, saved lives by urging people to drink beer instead of water, which was spreading the plague. Cheers. Believe it or not. One of the first swivel chairs was invented by Thomas Jefferson, and he sat on it when he drafted the Declaration of Independence and the first amusement ride. Believe it or not. In 1789, George Washington's presidential salary equated to 2% of the total U.S. budget. And so the budget deficit begins. Believe it or not. In English, the current capital of Japan, Tokyo, is an anagram of its previous capital, Kyoto. Believe it or not. Montana is the only U.S. state with rivers that drain into the Gulf of America, Hudson Bay, and the Pacific Ocean.
Gulf of America.
Believe it or not. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They ain't got the guts. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Why don't eggs tell jokes? They'll crack each other up. What do you call false spaghetti? An impasta. How do you organize a space party? You plan it. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. Why did the golfer bring 2 pair of pants? In case he got a hole in one. What's a cat's favorite color? Purple. Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're very good at it. What do you call a dog magician? A labracadabra. What's a cow's favorite holiday? Moo Year's Day. What's green and sings? Elvis Parsley. 99% of lawyers give the rest a bad name. Time is what keeps things from happening all at once. Never answer an anonymous letter. I would call 911, but I can't report you as missing until you've been gone for 24 hours. That's him, officer. Second from the end. The 12-footer. So, Professor Jenkins, my old nemesis, we meet again. But this time the advantage is mine. Fake picnickers. Here they come. This time, his practical jokes have gone too far. and Wally was finally booted off the hill. You know, Vern, the thought of what this place is going to look like in about a week just gives me the creeps. It's a known fact that sheep that give steel wool have no natural enemies. Sporting goods. Hey, Jim, go out for a short one. Jimmy Buffett, musician, songwriter, typical male. You must not have searched too hard. It's been right here in front of your face the whole time. Did you see that? He just flipped me the person. Make up your mind. We can't keep beaming you up and down. This week, I'll show you how to take over a dog's bed. You guys, it's so easy. I wish you wouldn't turn this into content. If anyone tries to look at someone else's answers and turns his or her head more than 3 inches, timber! Hey, did you guys hear this place went out of business? Woo-hoo! No more getting pummeled over and over by a great big ball. Did you guys hear heavy equipment of some kind? We had to move it where people would see it. Don't walk. Anybody else? This here's a school for buffalo hunters, and anyone who so much as utters the word bison can join Morgenstern in the corner. Fish thrill rides. Technology advances. People stay the same.
True.
At the Canine Support Center. He will come back. He probably went to work, or the store, or... No. Don't freak out. Stay with me, Cooper. Yes, definitely pee on that. You left your pocket watch on the hot stove, and it melted. Salvador Dali suddenly breaks through his creative block. Zed's garage. I heard a loud clunking noise, and then I ran over something large. Uh-oh. Carol's inviting us over for cake, and I'm sure it's just loaded with palm oil. If you start to feel dizzy or weak, get outside immediately. Your new pacemaker is solar powered. It's just a simple Rothschild ink blot test, Mr. Bonwell. So calm down and tell me what each one suggests to you. Whoa, here we go again. Pony Express rider walks into workplace, starts shooting every horse in sight. Veteran substitute teacher Vera Nagel found that warming up a bit with her boxing bag helped to keep classrooms under control. This isn't what I had in mind when you told me you were going to canonize me. This is my first time donating. Think of all the pancakes you'll be giving life to. So, you're applying for a position of web designer. Throughout their songwriting career, the Gershwins rarely discuss their younger brother Nathan, who played Gut Bucket. Hey fellas, check this out. He wear no shoe shine. He got toe jam football. He got monkey finger. He shoot Coca-Cola. What? A quick reference for hurricane categories. Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5. And this concludes yet another Opa's Corner. Opa's Corner is now available on my own YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe.
Opa, I didn't know you knew how to play those things. Anyways, that was a great Opa's Corner. Now a word from our friend JJ.
Finally here at a very special location. Skiba News Nation has had a long-time sponsor, and I'm happy to be here in person at JJ's CBD Hemp Shop. What's up, bro?
Hey, welcome to Family Ties Apothecary. Starting a brick and mortar. I do everything myself and grow all the hemp that I make in my rub, and from start to finish, farm to bottle.
Let's go get one of JJ's special drinks.
The best. Small batch kombucha, lemonade, or apple cider drinks that we mix with our CBD. We have water-soluble drinks where you can have a drink and not have to have alcohol in it and have a good time.
Now guys, go visit JJ's shop if you're up here in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin.
Health advocacy line that have a specialist here at 920-219-9169. If you guys want to call, we can address your ailments and I can recommend things to help you out. And that would be great. Look forward to hearing from you guys.
Thank you, JJ. And now for a special segment this week, let's play that intro. So I wanted to take you guys on our adventure to Panama City Beach, Florida. We celebrated Jake's birthday, and we'll get there. We'll get there. But first, I want to play this first clip called 4 Minutes on the Beach. So check this out. There he is on the beach. And look at this guy.
Real patriots. Real patriots right there. Look at that.
Welcome to Trump country. And paragliding. Babe, tell me what that is. What is that?
Oh, it's a paraglider. There's another one coming this way.
Oh, and they're powered by jet?
Hey, maybe that guy knows Trump's gonna come here. For a second, I thought it was like a presidential helicopter, and then it just like manifested. Hey, high five!
Come give me a high five down here. High five.
Is that a one person? So it's just one little lone person.
One little lone gunman like Lee Harvey Oswald. Hey everybody, we're at the beach. Rock and roll. There you guys go. Play this on repeat when you're going to sleep. It's calming. So what do you think about the beach?
It's beautiful.
What do you guys think about the beach?
Oh man, it's so sandy. And it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like Anakin.
We're gonna film the fake moon, our fake moon landing tonight when it gets dark. So stay tuned. Everyone say, where are we going? Where are we going?
We're going to meet mermaid people or dolphins, one of the two.
Oh, you found a swing. Check this out. Got our official boarding pass.
Guys, we're on a boat. We're on a boat. It's moving. This boat is moving. We're moving fast.
Not very fast.
Not very fast. A lot.
Here on this beautiful Gulf of America.
The deepest part of probably.
We're about to go to that island over there.
Felt like Captain Jack Sparrow. What do you think? How's the water?
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
It's not as bad as I thought
I
either.
told you get used to it. You kind of go numb a little bit to it.
Well, I mean,
At first it's a shock.
preferably, guys, I don't like to be numb. Right now, we're on the hunt for cool-looking shells. Maybe one to make like a cool necklace out of. If you guys want one of the cool shells that we collect, consider becoming a Patreon and leave me a message on Patreon and tell me you want a shell and I will send one your way. If you guys love what we do and you want to get some cool stuff at the same time, please consider becoming a Patreon where you get exclusive content, shout outs,
Shells.
and shells. Yeah, some shells. You'll get shells on our adventures. You will get some really cool stuff. You get postcards, you get whatever. You just send me a message with your address and I'll send it your way. So that's our way of saying we love you guys and we appreciate you appreciating us. So thank you for all you guys do for this channel. I can't believe we've grown so much, but love you guys. Check this out. He just pointed out there's bird poo-poo right there. And then if you follow the tracks all the way, that bird just decided, I'm gonna fly away right here. Fly on to the yonder. Crazy. Beautiful here. If you guys have never been to Panama City Beach, Florida, and you like beauty, this is your place. Lindsay just came up with the best theory of where shells actually come from. They come from Walmart, guys. And she has me convinced right now that they're all from Walmart. They could also film like a fake Mars invasion or something. They can film like, they could say we're on another planet, you know?
With grass.
Opa sent us an article about something about them doing something with the faking a moon landing. Did you see that this morning?
Yeah.
This looks like the white sands to me, and the white sands are beautiful. Beautiful sun, beautiful. One small step for man.
One giant leap for bullshit.
So that was 4 minutes on the beach. Now for this next clip, it's going to be Jake opening his birthday gift, and we take you to a really cool place that we went to in Panama City Beach, Florida. So check this out.
Happy birthday, Billy. Thank you, guys. Here's your little gift. Oh, man! Is this the moment? Is this the moment we're gonna... Wow. Silver play button, y'all. I don't know if you know how special this is, but this is a...
And didn't break on the plane.
Wow.
And you told me you never got one of these.
You know, this is the second silver play button I've held, but the first one somebody's given me. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, this is awesome. You'll get a, what's the next one, gold?
Next at 1 million, and then we got to get a diamond one at 10 million. So, but you know, so we at least have a few months before that one.
All right, hold it up. Let me see.
Thank you, bro.
Here, we should get a photo of both of us.
Yes.
Or she's there. Take a screenshot.
Nice. Probably a good photo in there. I don't know. I think there's a good photo in there.
This is so cool.
So this is us at Ripley's.
Fox literally held together by his wetsuit, exposed abdomen, and damaged internal organs.
You were just talking about it.
By this day, a shark tooth is embedded in his wet wrist. So you're telling me they couldn't get the shark tooth out of his...
Oh, these are real photos over here.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, if he hadn't had a so wetsuits are a good idea. We should definitely get a wetsuit for our dolphin swim tomorrow because it'll hold our insides
I hope
together.
the dolphins don't, hump us. What do I say?
That a shark only bites if you touch his private parts.
Yeah.
He was really getting in there.
Yeah, he was really fondling the shark, apparently. I heard that.
If they just label it whatever they want, but that was actually like a human poo, and they just had a really bad day. But then they were like, "Man, it felt like I pooped out a shark."
I mean,
hey, oh man.
You like that fish?
Barbarian trout. Yeah, that's one of those cryptids that I want to get put on the wall. Oh, Fiji mermaid. So, this is a Fiji mermaid. I wonder if Gary Wayne could tell us anything about it. Most Fiji mermaids, spoiler alert, are fake. They are, the top part of them are monkeys, the bottom part are fish. Now this one, I have no idea. It looks
like a ferret.
Yeah, maybe a ferret fish? But you can kind of see, if you look really close, that the seam, you can see the seam in them. Look at his little hands. And his little eyes and his little tail. But you can believe what you want to believe. What is that? A pearl.
This giant clam, whenever I scuba dived in the Philippines, I got my open water certification, and I would go down and we looked at the live ones, and I'm pretty sure it was illegal, but I would stick my hand into it and anyways, and it had this like thick, meaty, like pink flesh, and it would like close around my hand, and it was all slippery. And it's funny because I would do it and like I'd pull my hand out real quick before it really got me, but it looks like this dude who's got this pearl discovered, it says a Filipino diver, I was in the Philippines doing the same thing, reached into a giant clam that closed over his wrist and he died. And that's how they found that pearl.
This is an Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. Look at that. Look at that snout.
So we got a
There's probably something more.
Yeah.
So what do you think so far, Jake?
Oh man, I love strange, weird things. For sure.
Strange, weird things are my favorite.
Hey, JFK.
Lindsay noticed something really cool about
if
this.
If this were to be recreated after the assassination attempt,
this part of his head would be, there'd be an entrance wound here, an exit wound there.
Back into the left.
Back to the left.
So, Kennedy's quote, "My fellow Americans," is on here. My fellow Americans, ask
Your country?
Philippa?
For your countries, right there.
And that's where the bullet went through.
And I like that. I love that.
crazy. Oh, it looks different on film. It looks like actual like.
The Holocaust, Israel.
The Holocaust. That confused me so much.
The heck? Holocaust? The Holocaust?
How quickly did the Titanic sink?
B. Was that right?
No, it's 3. How many people could the 20 lifeboats on the Titanic hold?
Who said this was an educational show? It wasn't.
11,780? Or 7? Oh. Ah, that's right.
How many people died as a result of the sinking of the Titanic?
I want to say it's only 678. Oh, no? Interesting. Like when they sprung a leak once they hit that iceberg. Our ship has wrecked.
Feel how cold it was in the Titanic? How long can you stand?
Oh, I've seen these kind of things.
What?
Let's see, go. It's like ice.
Is it gonna
It's just a
blow
big
something?
I don't think so. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's about as cold as the ocean was today.
Yeah. That's probably accurate. The Titanic today is just a model. Data Ripley, believe it or not. Lies. It wasn't meant to be.
They always have a Holocaust museum and Titanic museums that I've been to.
Some guys. It's your boy Jeremiah Skiba here in the Titanic. We hit an iceberg, but they said we'll be okay, so hopefully they're right. Just wanted to film this so I could show, you guys at home. We'll be fine.
So this is how deep the Titanic is, but they should also have a level of where the submarine exploded.
Yeah, she was saying that
the littler Titanic?
The submarine, they should have put the submarine that imploded on that leveler.
They need to update it. Update it. Mr. Robert Dale Ripley. On suspicion, I've never heard anybody talk about this, but tell me he's not gay. I mean, still love Robert Ripley, but kind of Oh, Zoltar. You have $1, babe?
Yes.
Put it in the Zoltar machine.
It's not quite like the movie Big, but
what is that?
Zoltar will give you a wealth of wisdom.
Okay. He's gonna tell me words of wisdom.
let's see what he's gonna tell me.
Alright, tell us.
Tell me my fortune.
I am Zoltar at your service. Listen closely to my instructions now.
Okay.
Hard work pays off over time.
I knew that.
But laziness, it pays off right now.
Right.
Heed my advice, young one.
Okay.
Relax and enjoy yourself today. You deserve it.
Thank you.
And come back to gain more timeless truths from Zoltar, the wise gypsy.
Man, he gypped us.
Why?
This says this New Guinea crocodile skull that the Sepik tribe creation myth is the first woman married a crocodile and birthed both children and crocodiles. Though feared by natives, the crocodile is worshipped as the father of all mankind. Bro, that takes a whole nother take on that whole serpent seed, theory. Wow.
What is this supposed to be?
People.
That's just a cool necklace.
Yeah, I agree. That's very cool. Where? Oh, ooh. You can still see the skin and hair. There's no way.
It could buy 3 slaves.
Oh, no way. This elephant hill could buy 3 slaves.
Hey, wow. I wonder how much slave value I would have, like as an individual. Like, am I like a half tail?
I don't know. You guys let us know in the comment section. What about me? What would I be worth to you guys?
Hey, it's like it's like Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck. Well, this is his wife, Donald the Duck.
Donald the Duck.
Donald the Duck.
It's called lip disc wearers. Skulls. And here is this dude's just hanging around. He's just hanging around. Oh, what the heck is... Look at this demon child down here. What is that?
The wolf girl. She was raised by wolves.
Oh, like the She-Hulk.
She was raised until 8 years old, and she continued to crawl, growl, and eat raw meat until her death in an orphanage.
Is she
See,
using the bathroom in that pose? Why would they do that for all eternity?
wolves cared for her. The orphanage is what killed her. That's what it says. The wolves took care of her. She was one of their own.
So she's the inspiration for the Jungle Book.
It is a form of currency. Bird feathers coiled to add value for purchasing boats, wives, or to pay fines.
Sierra, you're worth at least 10,000 of these.
You're worth $1 billion.
10,000. Hey, that's cool. The decorated skulls thing?
That's what I want to do.
That's
when
a
I die.
trip.
Just have them decorate my skull like that and put me on display at a Ripley's. I want them to stuff my face back, but make me look like a taxidermy. You can't be taxidermied here in the United States, but there is a man that is in. He was English. He's in England. His body still resides in a university. Oh, look, shrunken heads. Shrunken heads. Yeah. These are the shrunken heads.
Oh, man.
Well, they say.
I bet you they're real. You know, the book of Jasher says that the way that they would communicate with either demons or the dead is they would take a shrunken head and they would put a gold coin in its mouth. And then they would put it on like a pedestal, and the gold coin would start to vibrate, and that's how it would talk to them.
So they talk too? Is that why they had their mouths wired shut?
I bet you. Yeah, nobody wants a dead head talking to them. They're like, let's sew those things shut. I'm tired of these guys waking me up in my sleep. Whoa, that's huge.
You can read it.
Warren is decoration and protection.
Protection from what? Alligators?
Yeah, I know. Right?
Crazy. Fiji Island cannibal pork. Crocodile jaw dagger. This looks like a creepy rim.
Yeah.
Went up. Where's she gonna go? There's a slide. Whee! Was that fast? Yeah. Ooh, I'm so telling Trump. It says Gulf of Mexico, not Gulf of America. There's a lock of President Lincoln's hair. Is this his writing? That's his real handwriting? He sent his hair to somebody? If you guys are, big fans, I will send you a lock of my hair and a letter. That's a bitch that Lincoln died in.
And then that's some of Lincoln's hair, and then some of someone else's hair.
All these guys collected hair.
He faked his death, though. Oh, there's dude.
Okay, so on the death of Lincoln, the doctor was in there in the room, taking care of his brains and stuff.
I think he was still alive because he signed it.
And oh yeah, well, the doctor, he steps up and he's like, I gotta go take a leak, and he steps out of the room. And when he comes back in the room, Lincoln's completely bald, and all of the nurses are gone. I mean, he's like,
they had to glue it back on his head. Oh, nice.
How do we know that that's a John Wilkes Booth hair?
Who's this guy? But that's a conspiracy. I'm sorry. What is this up here? There's Lincoln and another hair. God, how much hair do we need? Just kidding. You never have too much hair.
Hairy.
I myself own a piece of Elvis Presley. Put your hand in there.
Can you grab the jewel? Oh, it's a reflection. Whatever. There's no way. Oh my gosh!
Robert Wadlow, the world's tallest man, allegedly. That's him at 18. He only lived to be 22. A really fun fact about these kind of people with the long neck, it doesn't make their neck longer. It makes their shoulders lower. Fun fact. This is allegedly a woolly mammoth skull.
Alright, what about this? Memory challenge.
So that was our adventure at Ripley's and Jake's birthday, but this last clip is sped up because it was the longest sunset I've ever seen, and Opa even said that. So go ahead and check out this time-lapse footage. Still waiting.
Check this out. Refraction bends the light downward. It made the sun set on a parallel surface. As it was moving parallel, the same height, the whole way over a flat surface, the refraction caused the sun to set. Of course, again, depending on how much moisture is in the air, we could see that the sun doesn't appear to change in size at all as it goes down.
Now, it didn't go down for another 2 hours, so I had to cut it about halfway. No, happy birthday, Jake, and it was fun being able to go with you, and yeah, that's all I got for this special segment, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, a quick word from our friend Kristen. I want to introduce you guys to somebody named Kristen, who's one of the biggest forces behind Skiba News Nation. This is Kristen. She helps us get all the big guests. I understand that you're doing this full time now, so how can people find out how to use your service?
Well, I started Fellow Helper Agency, and you can go to fellowhelperagency.com. And I do any of the behind the scenes, email, getting the interviews, and I do prep work for the shows as well. I do timestamps and moderating.
She is the best with connects. If you like any of our shows, any of our big guests, she's the person to go to. And if you have a channel, definitely go to our website. So go check out fellowhelperagency.com. You got some memes for me, Jake?
Yeah, I got a couple funny videos.
All right, well, funny video me up. Funny video me up.
Here we go. He's telling me he's losing friends because of conspiracy theories. I have no more friends. See, guys, that doesn't have to be true, so come on down to TrutherCon and you can make all the friends you like.
Right on.
We're doing our part. All right, check this out. Oh, all right. Last video. I think this is hilarious. Ever wonder what God is doing in your life?
How you doing? You all right back there?
Jesus, you're going the wrong way!
You just rest. It's all in your control. I am the way.
Sweet.
It's a wild ride, guys. But that's all for this week, Jeremiah.
Well, thank you, Jake, for another great current news and funny videos as always. Opa, thank you for another great Opa's Corner, and I hope you enjoyed our special segment on Jake's birthday, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. So stay awake, not woke, subscribe, and stay tuned. If you like what we do here on Skiba News Nation, please like and subscribe, and also share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons out there. If you like bonus content, you want some extra Skiba News Nation stuff, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation.
Son of the legendary Jeremiah Skiba.
It's like they don't even want to wake up.